Good morning. Well, I'm back from a little break, and you can probably tell I'm filming on a pretty low quality phone. This is my son's, well, it's my old iPhone XR that I used to have, and we're going to go for a little drive. We're going to go in the Citroen, and we're going to work our way up to the Saab. We're going to pick up the Saab, and then we're going to go buy a new phone because mine got dropped in the sea. Ahoy, we're off. Right, this is actually my first time driving the Citroen C3. It got delivered to Luke's place. Luke and I had a good look at it. Basically decided that it was kind of rubbish, and that was that. So this is my first proper drive. There's definitely some knocks and bangs coming from the front. I don't think it's too bad. It'd be interesting to see what it actually can achieve on fuel economy. It goes in a straight line, which to be honest I wasn't expecting. So it owes me about 500 quid with what I paid Ron for transport. So I'm not completely sure what to do with it. I did put it up on Facebook Marketplace as a kind of a going concern. A car with an MOT that works, but that is probably on its last legs. And do you know how many messages I got? 0. So then MacMaster's gone and got his new car, hasn't he? And I'm thinking, maybe this could be a good one for a MacMaster challenge. Because if it drives okay, which it seems to, then maybe I could defeat his new Porsche Taycan with my incredible fuel economy. I'll see what Luke thinks about taking this car on a long distance run, but I mean it's comfy enough, it's a bit noisy. Do I dare open the sunroof again? No, I'm not going to do it, because if you watch the last video you'll know that it doesn't close, and somehow Luke was able to close it again. Right, now this is interesting. That's the seatbelt buzzer. I'm wearing my seatbelt. My seatbelt's on. If you waggle the thing, no. Let's try plugging in the passenger seat. I can't because the buckle's all the way down there. So the car thinks that I'm not wearing a seatbelt. Now that might get a little bit annoying somewhere between John O'Groats and Land's End. So you could probably just disable that though. That might be a fuse. What do you think? Right, indicators seem to work. There is a pull to the left, a fairly strong pull to the left to be honest, not unlike successive governments. Oh, right, so stop it, just got to keep, that doesn't look right, does it? Right, so there's definitely something wrong with that. Something wrong with the sky today as well, but we'll talk about that in another video. So, what do I do with this car? You tell me. I think I like it because I just like shit cars, don't I? 450 quid I paid, and then Ron got 50 quid for collecting it because it wasn't that far away, or it might have been 400 quid and 100 quid for Ron. I can't remember, but. Yeah, 91,597 miles, and everything's coming up to temperature now, so that's good. Do we use this for a MacMaster challenge? What if I take my seatbelt off? No, that doesn't work either. And it's illegal. It's got reverse, that's good. Okay, cool. So, aside from the fact that the car thinks I'm not wearing a seatbelt when I am, I think this could be okay for a MacMaster challenge because they are horrendously good on fuel. Let me get the gates open, go get the Saab, and then we'll go buy my new phone. I'll talk to you about my phone in the Saab because it'll be quieter because the Saab won't think that I'm not wearing a seatbelt when I am. We hope. I haven't seen this one yet either. I don't know how I used to film on this phone. Right, so that is the Citroen, and now we're going to jump in this, which you can't see because I'm pointing at the Saab, but it looks like I'm pointing at the Citroen. I bought this while I was away and sent Ron to collect it. Sounded like a nice car. I paid, what did I pay for it? 1,200 quid, something like that. It's a nice car for 1,200 quid. Right, I'll show you the Citroen first, and then we'll look at the Saab. So this is the end of life Citroen C3 XTR. I think it's cool. It's a cool car. Look, it's got the roof rails, it's got the sunroof, it's got the funky side trims. It's just, unfortunately, a bit rubbish. But I think it could be. Oh, shut up, car. I think it could be used for a MacMaster challenge. The only issue would be whether I can actually stand sitting in it and driving it for as long as I would need to do a Mac Master Challenge. I can't zoom out on this phone. Normally at this point I would zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole car, but on this iPhone XR I can't do that. But I built the whole channel on the iPhone XR, so I'm not going to moan. Right, here's my Saab. It is a 9.5 2.3 turbo automatic, so it's the low pressure one. It's not an aero. These can be mapped up to silly horsepower, and you may see me do that on the channel. It's been very well looked after. It was a local car for local people. Oh, what are you guys doing? Are we about to watch dinner? Go on. That is not something I've filmed before on a Geoff video, to be honest. Should we intervene? Should we save him? Oh no, I pulled his leg off. The spider's not happy. The spider's not happy. There you go. Go. Be free. Sorry, mate, you'll have to eat his legs. You know, in animal documentaries where they're like, oh no, we can't intervene. Although we did lose some legs there, didn't they? Crikey. Not the best Geoff video, this one, but it's like the old-fashioned Geoff videos I used to make. It's a bit mucky. It's a bit spidery. It needs a clean, but... Oh. That didn't work out well for you, did you, mate? Is that the one? Is that the same one? The wheels have been refurbished, which is nice. Looks like they've been powder coated. So it's got refurbished wheels. It's just had an MOT in June. And I love the spec. It's this dark blue, metallic, walk all the way back because I can't zoom out. It's got a tow bar and it's got a beige interior. The only thing it's lacking is a sunroof. I can't remember the mileage. I'll have to have a look, but it should have fairly full service history. Lovely beige interior. Not heated rear seats. Some of these Saabs did come with heated rear seats, but it comes with 2 sets of mats. I've got winter mats, and in the boot, if I open the boot, I've got carpets as well. The sign of a well cared for car. These always peel up on these Saabs, so let me know in the comments what you would do with that. Maybe just a little bit of tape, but generally a very nice car, and I think this is going to be lovely to drive. So let's get going and go buy my new phone. Still using the U-Green power bank. Actually, I need to plug that in because the battery on this phone is useless. I've gone for a Motorola, actually. Did it recognise that I plugged that in? Might be because I'm filming. If we turn the power on, how much have we got today? 48%. So that'll charge this phone until I get my new one. Right, so new coil springs is the most recent thing at 144,000 miles. That was in June. £260. Big stack of history there, which I'll have a look at later on. No time for that. Oh, look. I have a Motorola car system, which is good because today I'm buying a Motorola phone. Missing all of these bits. Again, that's par for the course, really, with an older Saab 9.5. Keys in the middle on a Saab, which is ridiculous. And the window switches are in this ridiculous position here. Which is very strange and rather unnatural, but we love it because it's Saab and it's different. Checking what we got. BBC WM, 0 miles to the gallon, all the warning lights. Let's fire up. Saabs always sound like they're slow to start. Aircon off. Right, time for service. Yep, okay. Clear that. Warning lights. What we got? 80 miles fuel, 14 degrees, 9th of January 2003. A good year for cars. So that's not really telling me anything. Where's my check panel? Night panel clear. Some of these Saabs have a check panel. You literally click check and it tells you what's wrong. Does the cup holder work? Of course it does. Beautiful when you compare that to the fast, aggressive cup holder that we had in the V70. 10 points for the Saab. Lovely light interior. Right, I've got an airbag light, I've got a warning light, but that might be because the door's closed, might be because I haven't got my seatbelt on yet. Let's see what happens when we put seatbelts on and things, and we'll see what warning lights pop up as we go. A bit of an odd angle because this is a larger phone, even though the quality is, well, I don't know what year the iPhone XR was from, I'll have to check that. Okay, airbag light, triangle warning light, traction control off. That works. Okay, 144,491 miles. So it literally had the rear springs done like 6 miles ago. The thing is with Saabs is they're just really cool, and I can't fully tell you why that is. They just are. Picks up nicely. Plenty of, oh yeah, it's got that Saab thing. Oh, I like it. haven't had a Saab for a little while. I think I might remap the living daylights out of this car and see if we can get it up to like stupid horsepower, like the blue saloon that I had, that was pulling 301 on the dyno, which was actually quite a popular video if you cast your minds back to that. So maybe that could be a plan for this Saab. For today, I'm going to take it fairly easy, get to know the car a bit more. There's some slight juddering under braking, some kind of ABS thing going on. I've obviously got this airbag light, and there's this big red warning light in the middle as well, which I suspect all those things are connected. Nice comfy car for the winter though, and a lot more comfortable than, well, anything else that I own at the moment. Last night we came back in Mrs. Geoff's 1 Series, and I was actually sat in the back for 2 hours. My gosh, that is not a comfortable car to be in the back of for 2 hours, but none of my big comfortable cruisy cars were ready for that trip. Still left the Volvo in Bulgaria. I need to go collect that at some point. The motorhome is still not ready. There will be a motorhome update later this week. There will be more happening. The brakes are being rebuilt. We've got some parts that have arrived. The engine cooling system is going to be redone, and then we should be ready for the last few bits on the interior, and then a maiden voyage. So if you've been wondering about the motorhome, your answer is coming up fairly soon. Right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to reset the fuel economy, and then we're going to run into Malvern for Argos, and we're going to see what fuel economy we can get on the way, and I'm going to talk to you about Saab 9.5s. Before we do that, let me show you a little bit more around the car. Now, I will say, like all good Geoff cars, it is worse than it looked in the pictures. There's a few knocks and bangs that I've noticed. I'm missing a fog light cover down the front here. You know, the bumpers are scraped and whatnot. It just needs a very, very good clean. These bits are all over the place. I don't know whether that's a scratch or what. We've got a scratch there in the door. We've got a little bit of rust coming through on the back, and these Saabs are known for this, but it's not advised on the MOT, so that's a good thing. I reckon it wants a set of discs all round. It just feels like it could do with a brake refresh. Oh, that's interesting. I've spotted that before. Okay, so we need a rear upper brake light, because that's smashed. The badges always go weird as well, which is a bit strange, but it's nice that we've got a tow bar. I like that. We've got reverse park sensors. I've also noticed as well, it's got flappy paddles. It's got a Tiptronic. Those tyres are, they're okay, they're not far off. Maybe a set of tyres at some point as well, but you know, you pay your money, you take your chance, don't you? That's the thing. I really like these Saabs. There's not loads of them around. Scratch down there. It's you know, it's a good year as well. 2003 is a good year for a Saab, and I'll tell you why when we get going. Let's go reset the trip and see if we can't get 30 miles to the gallon out of it. So I'll fire her up, and I'll then do all of its bongs and whatnot. Fuel lights on, so we're going to need to get some fuel in Malvern. 58 miles to empty. Speed, arrival, distance, fuel. Let's clear that. What are you beeping for now? I think it likes to beep just because it likes to beep. Clear that down to 0. There we go. Right, let's go. I'm going to try and drive as economically as possible. Very slow takeoff there. Yes, seatbelt is now on. Window going up. I might test the aircon. Oh no, I'm not going to test the aircon until I've got some fuel, because that will eat into my fuel economy. The problem with these Saabs, I'll flip the camera around and I'll talk to you, I reckon, because I don't know how interesting the road's going to be. But then I suppose you can see a bit of it out the window. The problem with these Saabs, he says, not flipping the camera around, is the engine choices. I'd really like a good diesel on an 03 or 02 Saab 9.5. The problem is they used 2 different diesel engines. The 1.9, I think it's a CDTI from Vauxhall, and the 2.2 from Isuzu. I have to admit, I've not had a 2.2 Isuzu diesel Saab, but I'm told they're quite agricultural. And my problem with the 1.9 is that I don't find it very engaging as an engine with a manual gearbox, and with an automatic, I don't even find it that economical. The other big problem that these Saab 9.5s have is road tax. This is a 2.3 litre, but because it's pre-2005, I think it's 2005, 55 or 06 where the change happens, because it's pre-2005, I'm only paying £405 a year annual road tax. However, if this car was a 2007 or 2008, I would be paying, wait for it, £750 annual road tax. For what? I hear you all say. I don't know, I can't answer that question. But they want to get old cars off the road, and one of the ways they've worked out that they can do that is by massively ramping up the amount of vehicle excise duty or road tax that people actually pay. And after 2007, the rates for road tax start to get ridiculous for older cars. The irony being, they're taxing the some of the diesels very heavily when the diesels are better on fuel economy and therefore using less fuel, so therefore better for the planet. So it's one of those situations where you can't really get your head around it, like most things these days. Except I don't feel like Saab, I love dirty diesel, as you know, but I don't feel like Saab do an engine in a 9.5 that I'd actually want to live with longer term. We did for a little while run a 2007 Saab 9.5 1.9, but it was an automatic, and the other problem that you've got with Saab 9.5s is after 2003-4, Vauxhall start to get their teeth Vauxhall start to get their teeth into Saab, and the accountants start having a word. So the quality of things starts to go downhill after about 2004. The cars don't feel the same. The entertainment system's slightly different. The feel of the car, the lighting, all the little things that Saab people really like start to move away from Saab and become more Vauxhall. So I don't buy them after about 2004, I think. I had that Saab 9.3 turbo on the channel recently. I didn't really bond with it. It didn't feel like a proper Saab, but the engine did. It had that Saab turbo-ness, but it didn't have the, I don't know, the je ne sais quoi. There's got to be a Swedish term for je ne sais quoi, hasn't there? But it just didn't have that. Low battery. So I've already done low battery and full storage on this phone, and we haven't even got to moving yet. I don't know how much longer this video is going to be, because I don't know how long this phone's going to last. Wow. Spent 2 years filming with this phone, and now I can't do it for 10 minutes. Oh, there's been a development. The engine light is on. So now I have big red triangle, airbag light, engine light, and fuel light. So things are going well in my cheap Saab. But I was just thinking, as a Jaguar I-Pace on a 74 plate went past me, I was just thinking, why do people have such an issue with driving and owning an old car? Right, so this car is a 2003, so that makes it, correct me if I'm wrong, 22 years old, probably more like 22 and a half. It's got heated seats, cruise control, all the toys that you could possibly need, plenty of cup holders, it's beautifully comfortable, it's big enough, it's quiet, it's powerful, it's got everything, right? And that was great for everybody in 2003. So what is it about a car from 2025 that makes this car obsolete? It has to just be, yes, wear and tear. You know, an older car will have things that will need replacing, but then so will every car, because every new car at some point will be an old car. So surely you're better off choosing an old car that has a level of technology that can be maintained long term, instead of replacing your old car with a new car that is eventually going to fall into disrepair and then either can't be repaired or will be ruinously expensive to repair. Make do and mend, basically, is what I'm advocating for. But this is the thing, like I said, in 2003, this was a premium luxury estate car, and in 2025 it still is. If I wanted to go buy one of these brand new, well, I can't, because Saab sadly is no longer around. So let's say, well, what would I buy instead? Well, BMW 5 Series. If I went and bought a new 5 Series, it would have more technology on it than I could shake a stick at. It would have a gigantic screen up here, and everything would be connected to that. The car could be tracked and monitored by I don't even know who. I can't do any of the maintenance at home because it's so damn complicated and I don't have the software. Notwithstanding the fact that if I wanted to go buy one of these brand new, you wouldn't be getting much change from £60,000. In fact, I'm going to go and have a look. Not right now, because I'm still behind this cyclist. But later on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the BMW website and I'm going to build a specification 5 Series as close to what this Saab has got as I can, and I'm going to put it up here and see how much it costs. There's a lot of cyclists out today. Are we having some sort of cycle-a-thon? Are we all saving the planet? Nah, because they're all on electric bikes. The other thing, whilst I'm chatting, and I am chatting, I love that. I love seeing a table of stuff for sale by the side of the road. We went somewhere recently and there was 2 kids sat by the side of the road with a table selling lemonade, and I slammed the brakes on, turned the car back round, and I said, boys, go and buy some lemonade, because I just think stuff like that needs to be supported. Community is so important. We've lost it. We've lost community. People don't even know their families anymore, and I'm to blame as well. You know, we used to go on holiday when we were kids, right? And it would be, you know, my mum and dad and my mum's, all my aunts and uncles basically, and then all the cousins, and we'd all go camping together. And I've never done that with any of my brothers and sister. Why haven't we ever done that? Well, I don't know. Why has everyone become so disconnected from everyone else? And you can't build community if you don't have those strong relationships. You know, I'd love to live in a little village where there was like 60 people and everyone knew everybody, and you got one cafe and you got one pub and you got one shop, and it's good people and good stuff. Is that a pipe dream now in 2025 as we sit here in 2025? Is it possible? Does that exist anywhere? So we've just been away and we found a little slice of that. I'm not saying it was perfect, but you know, it was lovely. We stayed somewhere pretty remote. Go on then, screw it, I'll tell you, right? Because McMaster went to Cyprus, didn't he? McMaster went to Cyprus and he flew to Paphos and he slated it. And he said that Paphos was terrible and Cyprus is a building site, and he had a terrible time. And I thought, hang on a minute, that can't be right. We went to Cyprus. We stayed further north. You know, we weren't in Paphos. Very cheap holiday. And do you know what? We didn't do anything. Why didn't we do anything? Because within walking distance from our accommodation, there's a beautiful little cafe. There was a lovely little bar. In fact, there was like 3 or 4 real nice little bars that were very close by. A little supermarket that was sometimes open and sometimes wasn't. And you know, by the end of the week, the lady who runs the cafe just gave my wife and our friends that we were with a big hug. You know, exchanging gifts. Absolutely beautiful. Cyprus was amazing. It really was. And I think it was quite funny that's, you know, Lee flew to Paphos and saw what he saw. But I don't think Lee and I holiday in the same way anyway. But I don't know, it was so refreshing. You're eating fresh food that you know has, you know, come from, you know it's local. You know, you know that it's been made over there. There's 3 generations of family working in the kitchen, and the same people are there every day. The one chap's there, he has 12 coffees and smokes 50 cigarettes, and then later on he's on the beer. But he's harmless. Not armless, no, I'm toothless, harmless. Yeah, I don't know, it was just a real slice of how life ought to be, really, but nobody places any value on that anymore. I mean, you know, governments will talk about community, but they don't know what they mean when they actually talk about community. They talk about integration, and they talk about immigration, and they talk about building strong communities, but it's all balls, isn't it? All of it is balls, because you don't have strong communities. How do you build a strong community? What is your advice for how you actually go about strengthening your community? You need a good local pub. That's where it starts. You need a good local pub, not some chain. You know, you ain't going to build a good community in a Marston's pub or a Green King. You need a decent local pub. You need to know who your local farmers are as well, because your local farmers are your eyes and ears on the ground, really. They know what's going on with the weather, they know what's going on with the crops, and all that stuff matters. What else do you need? You need a real good barman. That's what you need. You need a good barman who knows everyone and knows what they're drinking. We've got that to some degree where we are. You know, he'll have another drink on your table before you've quite finished, and that stuff matters. You know, that's how you get to know people. But you can't. Yeah, there's so much. I don't mean to talk about all this in the video, but there's so much to be said, isn't there? You know, in Britain, we do have a drinking culture. We have a pub culture, and a lot of people are. Can you even say it? A lot of people are arriving into this country from countries that not only don't have drinking but don't have pub culture. How are you going to integrate with that? We're British, we do pubs. Do you want to come to the pub for a drink? Oh no, it's against your thing. What are you doing instead? Oh, you're going to that? Oh right, I don't go to that because I go to that one. Right. I'll see you later then, yeah? This is a video about cars. But that's the whole thing with the Geoff Buys Cars channel. It's cars, conversation and coffee and other things that don't begin with C. You never quite know what you're going to get with a Geoff Buys Cars video. I don't think I could actually just review a car. I think you'd find it boring. And there's other YouTubers that do it, and there's a lot of YouTubers that try to do it, and there's a lot of people that try to do it, and everybody basically just copies Jeremy Clarkson. And the problem with that is you are not Jeremy Clarkson. I am not Jeremy Clarkson. So don't try. Do your own thing. Be yourself. Do what makes you happy. Career advice from Geoff Buys Cars. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. I really don't. The country is in such an interesting state that it's very hard to know where to turn for any hope, really. And if that's your local pub, and you know your community at your local pub, then that's somewhere to start. Might not be the answer, might not be the be all and end all, but at least it's somewhere to start. A nice little independent petrol station there, talking about communities, and you know, they do sausage rolls and whatnot, but I will never forget the way I was treated by them during the great pandemic. And I haven't forgotten the way companies treated us, and I won't abide or support companies that went all out. And I have to admit, one of them was Silverstone race circuit, right? We're out of lockdown. It's the tail end of the pandemic. I've just finished restoring my Volvo 850 TDI, the one that I've just left in Bulgaria actually. And Silverstone were running something called the Lap of Lights. You've probably seen them advertising it. Basically, they decorate the whole track with a whole load of different themed Christmas decorations, and you can drive around slowly, and they encourage people to decorate their own cars. It's really cool. It's a really cool event. The problem is that there were two problems, to be honest. One, we did it on Christmas Eve, and we ruined Christmas Eve with this day, and it hammered down like biblical levels of rain, to the point where I wasn't even sure if we should go. The drive there was horrendous as a result of it, but we booked it and paid for it, so we were going. And there was an after party, and there was country music and a bar, and it looked great fun. There's a Santa's grotto, there's all sorts going on after the track, so it wasn't just about the lights on the track. Anyway, we get down there, I rig up some lights on the roof of the car, we do the lap of lights, and it's all good, but it's pissing it down, and the car's getting steamed up, and you know, it's frustrating that it's raining so much. And then we think, oh well, we'll go for a drink in the bar afterwards and check out the Santa's grotto and listen to some music. Oh, I'm sorry, you haven't got your pass, your vaccine pass. I can't remember if it was a vaccine pass or a proof of negative PCR or whatever it was back then. And they were arseholes about it. I will never forget the way this security guard treated us. You know, we're there with two young kids. All we want to do is go to the little Christmas thing at the end, and yet they have made a decision based on dodgy government advice, based on dodgy science, that they're going to treat us like lepers. And I actually haven't been to Silverstone since. It scarred me. COVID definitely scarred me. The things that were done and the way people behaved. Standing outside a supermarket 2 meters from everybody else in the pissing rain in a queue, waiting for a jumped up security guard to let you in. It was insane. It was actual insanity. And I've just missed my turn. And that's actually going to screw me up a little bit, so I need to turn around. See, I'm so annoyed by COVID that I've missed my turn. Yeah, I certainly won't forget. I will not forget. I will not forgive. But too many people have, haven't they? Too many people have just moved on. They don't want to remember, and that's fair enough. You know, yeah, it was most people had a terrible time, one way or another. We had a great lockdown. It was great fun. We had a nice little garden. The kids were young. I had no work. My wife had quit. We had no money, but you know, we were happy enough. The weather, nobody talks about that anymore, do they? Do you remember what the weather was like during lockdown? It was bloody March. It was March in the UK, and the government said, oh, by the way, we want everybody to stay at home and not go anywhere. Oh, and what a coincidence. Here's 6 weeks of unclouded skies and 30 degrees. Knock yourselves out. Yeah, hell yeah, we'll stay at home. Not a worry. I would love to stay at home for 6 weeks. And that was the thing, wasn't it? If the weather had been normal, if we had had typical British weather, there would have been a revolution. We don't get weather like that in the UK. Can you ever remember a run of weather like what we had in lockdown? It was wild. It was amazing. Everybody was just in the garden, weren't they? It was brilliant. You couldn't buy a paddling pool for love nor money. The sale of hot tubs went through the roof. Everybody was furloughed, sitting at home drinking in the hot tub. I came up with a new board game called Coronopoly when I was selling them on Etsy. Yeah, Monopoly, but instead of like all of the desirable properties around London, it was all the best places in your house. So like Mayfair was your sofa and the big TV. So what you'd do is you'd go around the board buying different areas of your house and then charge people for being on them. And all the community chest cards and the chance cards were rewritten in line with what was going on in the world at the time. It was highly controversial, but I spent hours on it. I've probably got it somewhere on my hard drive. If you want to download a copy, let me know. I'll put a link up. It was print at home as well, so everything was just designed to size. You literally just print out the PDFs, overlay them over your existing Monopoly set, and you're good to go. It's dead easy. It's just a downloadable file. Oh, nice, we've got a train coming. Yeah, Corona. Didn't know I'd end up talking about that today, but I don't know. You just people have forgotten, you know, waving at your relatives because they won't let you in the nursing home. Insanity. Get a free donut when you have a jab, and everything that has come out since is everything that we were trying to tell people at the time. And if you're like me, you probably lost friends. And I don't mean to the virus, but I mean, you did lose them to the virus. That was the thing. You know, people wouldn't talk to you. People wouldn't entertain the fact that there was something not quite right about the narrative. People didn't want to question the stuff that was being presented to them. And I think as a result of the compliance of the nation, the government just kept pushing harder and harder. They just decided that because the people were going along with anything they said, they'd keep making it worse. Standing outside on your doorstep to bang pots and pans to thank the NHS for their hard work, when just weeks after the pandemic was over, they voted not to give the NHS staff a pay rise. We were had hook, line and sinker. And I don't know why. Well, there's a lot that can't be said. You know it all. It's all coming out now anyway. But it's too late. It's too late. The damage is done, whatever that was or may be. And you know, how much of what the conspiracy theorists think was in the jab, how much of that will actually come to fruition, how many people will actually, you know, drop over the next few years, we'll find out. We are finding out at the moment. Nobody wants to talk about excess deaths, but everybody wants to talk about, oh yeah, we got to save you from air pollution. Sadiq Khan with his low emission zone, helping to save lives, ignoring the fact that more people are dying than ever before, and they can't work out what spiked it just after the rollout of the jab. I'll give you a clue. Might have been the rollout of the jab. Oh, it's funny, isn't it? It is funny. Strange old world that we live in. It's sunny today though, and we're nearly at our destination. I've no idea if any of this will make it into the video. This should be like some sort of members only video, shouldn't it really? This shouldn't go out to the public. This should only be for people that know what Geoff Buys Cars is like and know what the channel stands for. I always find it funny when people comment like, oh, Geoff, get back to cars. You don't want to watch me just reviewing cars. That's the thing. Anyone can do that. Loads of people doing it now on YouTube. Variety is the spice of life. It's like when you switch your telly on, isn't it? You know, a program comes on that you don't want to watch, you just change the channel. If I post a video that you don't want to watch, just don't watch it. If you don't like the auction reviews, then you know, cheers Geoff, but this one's not for me. I'll check in with you tomorrow when you're ranting about EVs. Don't like me ranting about EVs and you only like seeing me drive old cars? Well, then you know what to do. Don't watch the one about me ranting about EVs, and look out for the notification when I start to post about old cars. If you're getting notifications, that is. And indeed, if you're still subscribed. Because many people are being ghost unsubscribed, where they were subscribed, but then mysteriously they're no longer subscribed. Even had one of the mums at the kids' school a while ago say to me, do you still post videos on YouTube? I never get any notifications anymore. I thought you'd given up. Yep, still doing it, still cracking, still crazy, but still going. Why has this Mercedes got a Marco Polo badge on it? Is it some sort of special edition? Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There you go. Why's it got Marco Polo on it? Strange. It's also got a brake light out. Unless I just can't see that brake light on the right hand side because of the angle that it's at. Which is another irony of modern car design, isn't it? Got all these LED lights and they're rubbish. Driving back last night, late in the morning, the amount of cars that either have got their full beams on and don't realise, or have just got ridiculously bright headlights. It makes driving at night quite difficult. In fact, as I said, Mrs. G drove back last night and she was able to see firsthand why I moan so much about the roads in the UK, because the drive from London back to Worcester is unbelievably painful. M25 was down to one lane for a huge swathe of the journey and then was diverted completely at junction 13 to 14, which is where we needed to be. So we ended up on some little country lanes and then driving through some village. All the traffic from the M25 going through somebody's village. Wild. Didn't see any work going on. I did see something that was quite funny though. While we were in the cones and down to one lane on the M25, there's three completely, it might have been four, it could even have been five completely clear lanes. And that's what we put out here. We're in one lane of cones and on our left is a barrier. They're going nowhere. It's a wall. And there's a police car flying up behind us, about 3 cars back. And the police car, and we're in a 40-mile-an-hour zone as well, on a motorway. The police car gets about 3 cars back and that car panics, thinks they're being done for speeding and just sits at 40 mile an hour for about a mile with a police car behind it with all the sirens and lights blaring. This car will not move. It is sitting at the speed limit in the roadworks, and for some reason, I mean, if a police car needs to get past, I feel like that's an okay time to pull into the roadworks. I'd have just gone in between a couple of cones, let him pass and then pull back over. Or if you are the police person, man, I would have gone in the roadwork bit because there's quite clearly nothing going on. So cross the cones and go on the safe lane to go around the car. Neither of those things happened. So this police car that came flying up was then held up behind a car doing 40 miles an hour for about a mile, and neither of them could do anything. It was like this hilarious position of checkmate. And I could see that the police car was like flashing this guy. But to be fair to the guy, what are you going to do? I've got a wall on my left and cones on my right. And if you're not crossing into the cones to go into the roadworks to go around me, then why legally should I cross into the cones to allow you to undertake me in the legal lane? Why should I go into the illegal lane that I'm not allowed in to let you pass if you're the police and you're not doing that? It was quite an amusing situation. It's a Sunday, so everybody's at the retail park. That's what we do in Britain. On a Sunday, we either go out on our electric bikes or we go to a retail park. He says, going to a retail park. I don't have an electric bike though. I do have an electric scooter, which I'm meant to be reviewing for the channel at some point in the future, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to squeeze that one into a video. I don't like doing sponsor videos generally. I don't do many of them. I find them quite awkward, but I like it when companies approach me and their products are good. like Ugreen, actually, who have not sponsored this video. This is not a sponsored video. They are not paying me to say this. This is just me saying it because I think their products are good. Right, how many idiots are in the queue for the McDonald's drive-thru? Oh, I'll tell you what, before I collect the new phone, let's look at the fuel economy. Wow, considering I was driving very carefully, that's terrible. 26.5. I thought it was going to be like 35. 26.5. That is shocking. Right, normally when you go and collect something from Argos, you have to take a code with you or an email, but because I haven't got any of that, because I haven't got a phone, I've printed out mine, and they probably haven't seen someone print out an order number since about 2003. So here we go. Let's do it. Just getting to Argos to collect the new phone. Check this out, look. It's a 75 plate, brand new. It's the first 75 I've seen. It's a JQ as well. JQ, J7. Seeing far too many of those on the road. Oh, dream car. Citroen C3 Picasso. Right, let's go get this phone and get this show on the road. You don't get catalogues anymore. Do you remember the Argos catalogue? Oh, that's exciting. Aha, all done. I went for a Motorola G35. No idea, but I'll tell you later on. I just got the most amazing Hot Wheels haul. Look at this. Look how many there are. Right, let me show you. I've got the Dodge Viper GTS in yellow, great find. Renault Espace F1. Pink Dodge Charger Hellcat, that's for Mrs. G. Porsche 928S. Cool. And then I've got these three, and I'm actually going to give these away. So that is a Porsche, a Volvo, and a Jaguar XJ12. I got one for me, so these are for you. If you leave a comment below saying, yes please Geoff, I'll have the Porsche or the Volvo or the Jag, and then I'll choose 3 people at random that commented saying that, and I'll get in touch with you, and I'll post them out to you. I might sign them, do something, you know, with a permanent marker, and then you can have your very own Geoff car. 964 turbo, and look, the Volvo says Swedish on the back. That's really cool. Nice detailed little models, those. What a great haul. I'm more excited about my Hot Wheels than I am my flipping new phone. Right, car keys, petrol, home. Once I've got some petrol in as well, I think I might drive as fast as I can home and see what fuel economy I can get. But now I should test the aircon. Let's see if it works while we go get petrol. The button on the door for the fuel flap doesn't work, and that now explains why the fuel flap is all messed up. Look, I'll show you. This. Oh, it does work. It's just all needs cleaning. But look, someone's clearly been opening it with a key instead of just like lubricating it. That's all it needs. It just needs to be cleaned and lubricated. Stupid. Right, let's put fuel in. Right, I just put in 33 quid, which is more money than this will ever earn back in ad revenue on this video. Apparently that's 225 miles range. That's great. Still got no triangle warning light. Still got no ABS light, so we're good on that front. What we're going to do now is we're going to reset the MPG, which is sitting at 25.9. Let's clear that. Let's see how low we can get it by driving fast. See if it makes any difference. Right, I'm not going to film this. I'm going to blast home. I'll speak to you in a bit. Can't actually make any progress anyway, because everywhere you go there's a Vauxhall Mokka. Do you know what the problem with that is with modern cars? Everybody's driving around below the speed limit because their car is bonging every 5 seconds, reminding them the speed limit. So instead of driving at 30, they drive everywhere at 26, which then slows the whole nation down. Whereas if they were just keeping an eye on their speedo and not having constant bongs played from their dashboard, they'd probably drive at the speed limit. I mean, I'm not advocating for racing through places at high speed, but I'm just an advocate for getting where you're going to in a reasonable amount of time. And that's what seems to be getting harder and harder in the UK, getting where you're going to in a reasonable amount of time. Like last night with, you know, one lane of the M25 operational, 5 lanes closed, and then a police car unable to get to where he wanted to go because the brain dead person in front was too confused by the roadworks to decide what to do. So let's summarise the Saab then. 1,200 quid delivered. Airbag light, red triangle light, engine light, brake light failure. But I can live with that because it's probably a bulb. Might not be, it might be something serious. And it wants a set of brakes. So I think you probably need to, like, let's say you spent £1,000 on this car. You would have something very, very nice, because it's not going to cost you £1,000 to resolve all of the little issues, have a service, replace all the brakes and upgrade them at the same time, because at the end of the day this is a powerful, fast automatic and you'll be relying on those brakes. So upgrade the discs and pads, do a service, go through everything. What you'll have is a really nice car for a couple of grand if you can stomach the road tax and the fuel economy. So driving, I didn't drive that hard on the way back. I said I was going to, but it's Sunday. There's cyclists everywhere. There's Vauxhall Mokkas everywhere, and it's not really that safe to do so. But it's saying 22 miles to the gallon. So if you can stomach that fuel economy, then this is the Saab for you. What should I do with it? Would you like to see me put it on a dyno and find out how much power this one's got? And then shall we get it remapped and see how much power we can get it up to? And then can't really use it for a MacMaster challenge. I mean, it'd be nice to use for a MacMaster challenge because it's so damn comfy. But I can't really use it for a challenge because it's not going to win because it only does 20 miles to the gallon. But I feel like we should do something with it. I got an idea. Why not just like keep it and drive it as a car for winter? That would make sense. Yeah, there's a good idea. So I don't know what I'll do with this car. I'm going to hang on to it for a little while. I seem to quite like it. Despite all of its many problems, it's an unsuspecting and quite quick, luxurious, comfortable saloon from the early 2000s, and that's not a bad thing to be. It really isn't. So yeah, you might take some, you know, heavy fuel economy, but generally on reliability and stuff, it's not going to be in the dealer every 5 minutes having a recall. It's not going to be throwing electronic problems every 5 minutes, requiring you to return to the service department, sort out all these issues, and it's just going to work and then keep working. That's why I love these old cars. Right, only thing left to do now is have a look at my new phone. 22.2 miles per gallon was the verdict. Lastly, let's take a look at my Motorola. I didn't really do any research on this. I basically just bought the cheapest smartphone, and I think this one's green. It said it was green. Is it green? Is it huge? I really don't like big phones, but it's a temporary phone anyway because I believe I had insurance on my phone. I've just got to find out. Oh, that is horrible. Look at the size of that. That's flipping huge. Why does anybody need a phone that big? But it's really hard to buy phones that aren't, like, I need it to be about there. I've got all of that I don't need. Anyway, it's a Moto G35 5G, big screen, breathtaking moments, 6.72 full HD display, 120 hertz refresh rate. Is that good? It was £99. It's got a 50 megapixel quad pixel camera and ultra wide, and it's got powerful Dolby speakers. Is this phone any good? We will find out in the coming days when I start filming on it. And then we'll see if I actually had insurance on my iPhone 15, and then maybe get a replacement one of those, or maybe not. 99 quid. Got £99 and an iPhone ain't one. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you made it to the end of the video. Let me know. As I said, I'll be giving these 3 away to someone that comments. So leave us a comment. Tell me which one you want. Porsche 911 Turbo, the Volvo 240, and the Jaguar XJ V12 Coupe. Nice little models, those. I really like those. And I'll do something, I'll write something on there as well. No cost to you, obviously. I'll just choose 3 people that have commented saying they want one, and there's 3 people there. You're not getting all 3, it's 3 people. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So there we go. Nice little Sunday video from Geoff Buys Cars. Hope you learned something. Probably didn't. Just watch him.